Hey, this is Cliff Townsend with the Money Institute. If this is your first time here, thank you for being here and welcome. If you've been here before and you're regular, thank you for being here and welcome. What I'm going to talk about today is Napoleon Hill's book, from his book, Think and Grow Rich and the 6 Basic Fears. Now, you probably noticed that I will spend a lot of time talking about Napoleon Hill and the lessons I've learned from Think and Grow Rich. And what we're going to talk about today is 6 basic fears. Now, we all have fears, right? You know, you may hear somebody ask a question, or you may even said this in the past. Some of them may have asked you, what do you fear? And you may say nothing. Well, that's not true. We all have fear. We all fear something. And there's a reason I know that. We all want something. And the reason we don't have that thing is because there's something we fear. There's a challenge that gets in the way. Maybe you want to have more money. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with your family. Maybe you want to have better health. It doesn't matter what it is, but deep down under the surface, there's something that we fear. We all have fear. And there's some very common fears, which we're going to talk about in this one, especially 2. And so let's get into the 6 basic fears that Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And the first fear, the number one fear, is the fear of poverty. Why do we fear poverty? Well, in the society we live in, right? If you look at people who have wealth, success, money, they have respect, right? They have the ability to do certain things, live in certain neighborhoods, live in certain areas, exercise, travel, do the things that we do. But most of all is respect. Right? They make songs about it. Money, respect, right? The more money you have, the more power you have, the more respect you have, regardless of the kind of person you are. You may not be a very nice person or a very good person, but if you have money, and people know that, and you go certain places, you get a certain level of respect. The people around you get a certain level of respect. Your family gets a certain level of respect simply because you have money. So people want respect and they fear poverty. Listen, we all hear about the rags to riches story. But nobody wants to be the rags. They all want to be the riches, right? Everybody fears to be the rags to riches. Everybody fears being the one that's homeless. They love the person that beaten the rags, that overcome the rags to riches story. They were homeless. They were down and out, and now they're successful. They love the story. It's a winning story, right? It's a winning script in Hollywood, right? But everybody, or most people, fear going to that point. That's why most people go to work and they stick to their job and they do the things that they do because they fear poverty. People go to work not because they want to go to work. People go to work because they want to pay, not because they have to, because they want to. People go to work. Most people go to work because they fear poverty. Why? If they don't make enough money, what happens? They can't pay the rent. If they can't pay the rent, what happens? They get evicted. If they get evicted, what happens? They probably be out on the street living homeless. Right, for the most part, and that means that you're impoverished. People fear poverty, right? And so, like I said, that's the number one fear. Next fear of criticism. Once again, you may have said it yourself. I know I've said it in the past. Most of us have said it. Well, I don't care what people think. Yes, you do. Yes, we do. If we didn't, we would be free. Right? But we're not, because we do care about what people think. We do care about what society thinks. We live in a society where we have to compromise. If we didn't care about what people think, we wouldn't wear certain clothes. We wouldn't buy certain cars. We wouldn't live in certain areas. We wouldn't do certain things. We wouldn't dress. We wouldn't put on makeup. We wouldn't do the things that we do. We do this not for ourselves, but for others. So most of the fear we have is because we fear what other people think, right? Just think about it. So the people that says they fear speaking in public, right? Or being on camera. Do they really fear being on camera? Or do they really fear speaking in public? Let's just say they could speak in the mirror or in the bathroom and nobody heard them and they want to say, what do they fear then? Do they fear speaking when they're by themselves? No, of course not. Do they fear being on camera if nobody else in the world is going to see it? Of course not. The reason why there's fear is because they fear what other people may think, right? We dress the way we dress. Because we want acceptance by our society, by our community, by our peers, right? And we do care what they think. So fear of criticism is the biggest one. Most people go to their deathbed not doing the things they want in life simply because they live their life based on what other people's opinions are, right? There's a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, right? Which I'll share with you in another episode. And the number one regret of the dying, people who are on their deathbed, is that they didn't get the opportunity to live life on their terms because they cared too much about what people thought about them. So fear of criticism is real, and we all have it. Here's the next one. Number 3, fear of ill health. We all fear, getting sick, right? Hypochondria, right? That's creating diseases and health and things that are not there. So what do? We exercise, we do things, we go on diets, we take certain kind of drugs. We all fear the fear of ill health, not being healthy, right? We all fear that, because what comes with that? Death, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, the 4th fear is fear of loss or love of someone that's close to you, right? Which brings jealousy, fault finding, all kind of things, right? Because we don't want to feel like we're alone. So the loss of love of someone that you care about, and sometimes we feel that when that person is not there, we feel like no one loves us, even though we're surrounded by hundreds and thousands and millions and billions of people in the world, right? The people that we care about and people that we love. If we lose their love, their care, that's what we fear. Not the people, not for the most part, not the people that we don't care about, right? We care about what they think, because that's where the fear of criticism comes in. But we don't care about losing their love, because they don't, we don't love them and we don't know about them. So we fear the loss of love from someone we care about. Here's number 5, the fear of old age. Why do we fear why do we have the fear of old age? Because a lot of people attach getting older to not being able to do certain things. They feel like it's slowing down, being old, making excuses for not being, not doing exercises, not being fit, not being who they were, right? But it's not really a matter of old age. It's just a matter of not keeping up, not keeping in shape. So a lot of people fear old age because they attach old age and they attach getting older with certain things. They attach it with illness, right? They attach it with not being able to move. They attach it with not being able to live life and do the things that they used to do, right? So they attach a lot of negativity to getting older, right? So people fear old age. And the last one, number 6, in Napoleon Hill's 6 basic fears, is a fear of death. We fear dying because we fear when we're gone, this is it. We fear that we may die without accomplishing things and accomplishing all the things that we have, or leaving a legacy, right? And we fear, having a lack of purpose in life. We just fear not living up to our full potential. We fear dying, even though none of us is going to get out of this alive, right? That's the truth. None of us will get out alive. We're all going to die. Every minute, as I'm speaking here, many people across the world have died. But at the same time, many babies, millions of babies were just born in the time that I've been speaking. And millions of people have died in the time that I've been speaking. So none of us get out of it alive. And so how do we overcome the fears, right? Well, first thing you have to do is identify. You cannot overcome something that you're not aware of. So identify the fear, right? And acknowledge your fear. What I mean by acknowledge your fear, you have to face it, accept it, accept that fear is an instinct. Fear is something that's sharing, that's telling you there's something that you need to do, right? So accept it. It is part of who we are, but what you have to do is you have to become confident in what your capabilities are, what you're able to do. Understand, for example, the fear of old age. It's not to say that you fear that you're not going to be able to do certain things. The fact that you get older doesn't stop you from doing things. The fact that you stop doing things is what stops you. It's not your age. Your age doesn't stop you from doing things. It's the fact that you say, okay, because I was with somebody the other day, and somebody asked her, do you ride the skateboard? And she's like, no, I'm too old. No. You're not too old to ride a skateboard. You just feel that because you've gotten a certain age that you no longer should ride a skateboard, and therefore you don't do it, and therefore you're not capable. So when you're not capable to do it, you say, oh, I can't do it because I'm old. No, that's not the reason, So get confident about what it is that you're capable of doing and what you want to do. Get certain and you will overcome it. Get excited and take action. So whatever it is that you fear, understand it, take action on it, overcome it, work on it, and understand that we all have these fears and we can overcome them. And I'll see you on the next video. And listen, if you like this video, if you like what we're sharing on this platform, on the Money Institute, we don't just talk about money, but we talk about all the things that surround money, your mindset, developing your mindset. Because in other words, for you to achieve the level of success you want in life, you have to come certain fears, right? Now, the fear of success, the fear of failure, the fear of criticism, the fear of all of these things, right? The fear of, we talked enough about fears, but listen, if you like what you're hearing on this platform, click the link, subscribe, like, follow, and I'll see you on the next video.